Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Amy, and today we're making an absolute favorite. It's been featured on the Campbell's Cream of Chicken soup can many times, and it's still all over their website. But do you really need to use that can of chicken jelly? Let's make some cheesy chicken rice and find out. And we're also gonna see how to not panic and salvage dinner when you mess up. So let's get cooking. The first thing we need to do is to make sure we have about 3 cups worth of cooked and shredded chicken. If you want to make this an ultra easy recipe, you can grab a rotisserie chicken at the store and that should make more than enough shredded cooked chicken. Although I would go a little easy on the salt if you go that route because the rotisserie chicken will be pretty salted already. But since I have some chicken breasts and tenderloins in the fridge, I'm just going to use those. And the easiest way for me is to boil them up. Fill up a pot with water, plop the chicken in, and bring it to a boil. Now, commonly when boiling chicken, you'll get a scum or protein foam that forms when it starts to boil. This is denatured proteins like albumin, which is also in egg whites and the white stuff you see when you cook salmon. It's perfectly edible, it's not harmful, but if you don't want it, just grab a spoon and skim it off into a separate container like this. Then just let these boil until they reach an internal temperature of at least 165 Fahrenheit. When the chicken's fully cooked, pull everything out of the water and shred it up. You can also chop the chicken into bite-sized pieces if you prefer chopped to shredded, because this is going to be beautiful, cheesy, creamy wondrousness regardless of what shape the chicken's in. Also, now is the time to preheat the oven to 350 and spray some oil into a 3-quart or a 9x13 baking dish. Now to the stove, and we need to melt 3 tablespoons of butter in a large saucepan or even in a pot because we need a good amount of space in this. When the butter's all melted and bubbly, add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour and whisk this to cook out the flour taste. Yup, we're making a roux. When the flour's cooked and you start smelling that lovely nutty smell, start stirring in 1½ cups of chicken stock or broth in small amounts, stirring till the sauce is smooth each time. Adding it all in at the same time can make it much more difficult to stir out the buttery flour clumps, but adding it slowly makes for some nice, smooth, silky sauces. Next, do the same thing with 1 cup of milk. When everything's nice and smooth and creamy, add in the seasonings. We want 2 teaspoons of onion powder, a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon each of garlic powder, dried thyme, and black pepper. If you use a rotisserie chicken, again, I would go with only a very small pinch of salt or even omit the salt completely. Give this all a good stir, and when it gets nice and bubbly again, we need to start adding 1½ cups of cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar, but you can use your favorites if you like something else. Monterey Jack, Colby, Gouda, mixtures of any of those would be fabulous. Stir in the cheese in small amounts like we did with the broth so that we can avoid lumps of cheese that don't want to melt. And then let this bubble for a few minutes until you're happy with the consistency, like 5 minutes at the most. And here it is. Here's the place I messed up. Add 4 cups of rice and stir that up until everything is evenly combined. But the rice needs to be cooked rice. Okay, cooked rice. Don't be like me and add uncooked rice because, yeah. Then add all the shredded or chopped chicken back in and stir that in too. This is why we needed a really big saucepan or even a pot when we got started. So when the cooked rice and the shredded or chopped chicken are all stirred in, pour this into the baking dish or spoon it in since the pot is really heavy, and smooth it out so everything is pretty evenly distributed. Cover it with foil, bake this at 350 for 25 minutes. Then pull it out of the oven, sprinkle about 1 to 1½ additional cups of cheese on top, and pop it back in the oven for 5 minutes until the cheese is nice and melty. However, we all know what happened to me because I realized my mistake about halfway through that baking time, and yup, that rice was very much not cooked, and I was thinking I would need to throw the whole thing out. All the chicken and the cheese and the rice, all the ingredients, and I was so looking forward to this dinner because I love this dish so much, and now it's ruined and everything is terrible, and now I don't have any dinner, and we're gonna have to eat peanut butter and jelly or even cereal, and how did I mess up something so simple? And then my husband put his hands on my shoulders and said, "Honey, I need you to breathe for a second," and I said, okay, just breathe. And I breathed for a minute. And when I wasn't panicking, I decided that the problem was that the rice needed to cook longer and needed a lot more liquid to do it. So I poured all of it into my biggest Dutch oven, added 2 to 3 more cups of chicken broth and another cup of milk. I also ended up adding more seasonings since the additional liquid would dilute the ones in the cream sauce we made. Then I stirred it all up, put the lid on, and popped it back in the oven for another 45 minutes. I pulled it out of the oven, sprinkled the rest of the cheese like I would have done 45 minutes ago, and baked it for another 5 with the lid off. And it was perfect. The rice got nice and soft, just like I wanted. It was gooey and cheesy, just like cheesy chicken rice is supposed to be. Granted, I had way more leftovers than I originally expected, but I'm not complaining about having more cheesy chicken rice, because I could live on it. And yes, dinner was late, but it was so worth the wait. Look at this big old spoonful. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite for a reason. And I know I always say it's my favorite because I just love food, but this is pure homey, cozy goodness right here. And on top of that, we did not need the chicken jelly can. You can serve this up by itself, or you can put some veggies on the side. Broccoli seems to have been invented as a vehicle for cheese, but peas or cauliflower, sauteed onions and mushrooms, anything really. But it can and will stand all by itself and be like a warm, fuzzy blanket for your soul with every single bite. Well, maybe not fuzzy, but you know what I mean. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying my content and leave me a comment. It really helps out my channel. Let me know what foods just make you feel like you're snuggled up in a warm blanket on a cold night. Come and hang out with me on Wednesday too, because we're rounding out our Thanksgiving sides with some go-to recipes for that last-minute invite and you need a side dish like now. And if you start making something and it gets a little messed up, just remember to breathe. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Sunday for another cozy home-cooked meal. Bye!